It's hard to imagine a world without the internet, but just 20 years ago, people could not imagine getting along without a newspaper. A bigger question to dig into is exactly how did journalism hit America? Let's go on the journey of American journalism. In 1607, roughly 100 members went on a long voyage to America led by one special man, Captain John Smith. They created the first English colony, Jamestown, Virginia. He also created the newsletter News from Virginia. It set the foundation for future publications. 82 years later, in a town in Massachusetts, the first American newspaper, Public Occurrences, both foreign and domestic, was published by Benjamin Harris. It consisted of rumors of incest and immorality in the French royal family. Naturally, the government was pretty upset and the promised monthly paper was taken down. It was the first time in America that a publication criticized the government. Literature was first introduced in 1721 in the New England Courant, published by James Franklin. The newspaper became not only a source of news, but of entertaining short stories and poetry. This is significant because James realized that readers wanted to have a variety other than hard news. Then, 7 years later, baby brother Benjamin Franklin decided to fly out the coop and create his own newspaper. The Pennsylvania Gazette had the largest circulation, most pages, highest income from advertisements, and the most columns. It was a big success and encouraged others to keep pursuing journalism in the colonies. 1776 is best known for Independence Day, but many do not credit the printing of Thomas Paine's Common Sense pamphlet as a contribution. The pamphlet was printed months before and stirred up emotions in the colonists. Obviously, this is important because otherwise we would still be a part of Britain. Newspapers had never been a daily publication until 1783 when Pennsylvania Evening Post was established. This was the first time in American history that a citizen could read a new news every day. It set the precedent for thousands of daily newspapers today. Everyone talks about the First Amendment in media. Citizens were granted freedom of speech in 1791 and forever changed the country and journalism. Reporters and citizens could criticize the government and speak out against injustices. Then the Industrial Revolution came. Railroads and steamships were invented and became the fastest way to distribute news. Editors were able to create stories not only locally but nationally with these inventions, as news was able to move faster. After the sudden death of his wife, Samuel Morse became inspired and created one of the most influential inventions of 1840. The telegraph made news instant. Never before could news be transferred in real time with the Morse code. 2 decades later, women started making their way into journalism. They became correspondents, editors, and writers. The first women journalists paved the way for women today. In 1890, telephones and typewriters changed the way work was done in the newspaper business. Reporters could hold interviews over the phone rather than spending time going on scene. Today, many reporters still use this method of interviewing as their first option. In the same year, the rise of yellow journalism became mainstream among papers. The bloody and gory became headlines and the readers ate it up. 1940s became the year for radio and television. For the first time, people were turning to television and radio for news. Newspapers suffered by losing income and the bankruptcy of several daily papers across the nation. Once again, newspapers had to regroup and find a way back to the center. Then came the rise of investigative journalism. People wanted the truth and nothing but the truth. Reporters spent months investigating into topics of the government and revealed some pretty crazy things. Watergate scandal, just to name one. This was big for journalism as it further emphasized the watchdog mentality. And then the World Wide Web came in the 90s and reporters were able to file stories from around the world instantly using laptops or via satellite. Now that the internet has grown, social media has grown into this massive news source for all ages. It is a new and faster way to share news that started in 2000. Convergence in newspapers has helped since then, but are still losing to free news and content sites online. This makes us wonder, will print be dead in the future? We'll have to wait and see.